What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's episode, we have a bunch of interesting things to discuss here on the channel. Hopefully you guys remember from last week, I did a video on Sonar, so we are going to be continuing that in seeing our profits and exactly how well we're doing and whether or not it's a worthy investment to consider putting money into come 2020 or within 2020, and whether or not there's risk involved with that. So we're going to discuss that. We're also going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Litecoin and XRP. And I have an article posted by, I believe it is You Today, in regards to top 3 price predictions on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and levels to watch against a possible market revival. So very interesting. A couple of things we're obviously going to discuss. Obviously, the current coin market cap is up there as well. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, so before we jump into today's technical analysis aspect of the channel, I just wanted to do a quick update video, or a quick update about the video I made a couple of days ago, about a week ago, basically about Sonar and how I deposited $500, and I wanted to see how exactly this worked. Just as a quick refresh, or for those of you who don't know, Sonar, I did a project or a sponsored video with them months and months and months ago, probably like 5 or 6 months ago, where I put money in, saw how the website worked, and eventually was able to withdraw my funds, cashed out. But I wanted to see, since they've been around for so long now, approximately 7 months they've been around, I decided to try this out again as we started into 2020, and I deposited $500 of my own money into Sonar just to test the website and still if this is something still available and useful in 2020. And I basically wanted to show you guys my profit. It's been about a week now of having the account open with my $500. You can see right here on investments, I deposited $515 about a week ago, and you can see my summary profit earned so far to this day in 1 week was $30.92. So it's quite a bit of profit in regards to interest. To date, it says I've made 5.78%, which is quite a bit. And in regards to my available, which is $30.92, and I'm going to try to withdraw this right now just to show how exactly the website works and how exactly we can withdraw our profits, and basically to show that this is a legitimate website. And then the next update, if I get my money, I'll let everyone know. If not, I'll obviously tell you guys and consider it a red flag if I don't get the money sent to my cryptocurrency wallet. Now, they do seem to be having this promotion that is still going on. Hot holiday gift for our big investor family. Invest with no fees and no limits till January 17th. Get cash back up to 10%. When I saw this, that's why I decided to get involved in it, because I wanted to take advantage of their promotion, as well as the fact that I wanted to see if this was still a legitimate way to make income. Now, I don't want to say that it is a legitimate way, but obviously there is some high risks in websites like this, so you do have to consider. But the fact that it's been around for 7 months right now, and even in what we've seen is a bear market, it's pretty much started, as we know, when Bitcoin is pretty much up top here. In regards to this is about 7 months ago, back in like June. We've had tons of bear market in price, and the website has still been around and doing fine, which is interesting. So with that being in mind, I did want to just test this out. So you can see my investments are right here. This is the details. If we click on this, you can see each day in regards to the percentage I earned: 0.33, 0.5, 0.5, 0.6, 0.5 once again. And then I do want to figure out how to actually withdraw my investments. So we have right here my Ethereum. I can reinvest this, or I can also transfer it. So if I go to Ethereum, we have 0.22 available, which was like $30. I want to transfer this. Profit transfers is available only on 1/17, so it is the 11th right now. So I guess on the 17th, I will withdraw the profit and obviously update you guys. So I can't withdraw it now, but obviously when that time hits, that's when I'll do that, and I'll update you guys next week if everything goes smoothly and goes thoroughly. Otherwise, I did link this website in the description if you wanted to check it out and kind of figure out how it is. But so far, so good. The fact is, I did make $30 on here on my $515 investment. I made $30, and obviously I'll update you guys next week if I can actually pull out this. Little odd though that I have to wait about 10 days or so to the 17th to actually transfer out my own money that they're giving me on interest. That's a little bit interesting that I can't transfer that out. But on the 17th, that is 6 days from now, we'll obviously do so, and I'll transfer it to like my Coinbase Pro, and we'll go from there. Also check out on their promotion till January 17th. You can get cash back, which is interesting, and I want to do this with you guys because I've actually never done it before, nor did I know this was available. But I'm typing in my Sonar account email, which is cryptotvofficial@gmail.com. You guys can also send me an email to here, and then it's as simple as, I guess, clicking get your present. Okay, wow, you got 6%. Check out your dashboard. The investment is already at work. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So I don't think I can go back, but yeah, that's that. We'll see exactly how well that works with the 6% back. We'll check out my dashboard and we'll see how that, you know, works into effect. There's my account, logging in, and not too sure where we'll find it, but whether it's on balances or more or less investments, we'll see exactly how that works. It actually says my available profit is 64. Interesting. So we had $30 available just a couple seconds ago, and then when I did that 6% cash back, it turned it into 64 available profit. That's a huge increase in price, almost double what I had before. Otherwise, guys, let's jump into the technical aspect part. So guys, hopefully you liked the Sonar recap that we're going to be doing about once a week until I was able to withdraw my money, or until I am able to withdraw my money, the $500 from the account. But furthermore, I do want to just dive into the technical analysis. Yesterday I made a video in regards to fund strats, expecting over 100% Bitcoin returns. It did okay. Kind of testing the market and seeing what you guys are interested in, but I do want to continue off on that discussion in regards to where the market is looking right now. We do have the coins up about 1 to maybe 2%, if that. We're not really seeing much movement right now. It seems like it's more of just a consolidation sideways trend pattern. And then if we just dive into the technical analysis, you'll notice a couple of interesting movements and interesting patterns here on Bitcoin's 4-hour. You'll see what appears to be some sort of symmetrical movement. We have a clear resistance up here that I can just slide down ever so slightly. That has a clear small resistance up here and a clear uptrend at that. And you can see we're kind of getting intertwined in this pattern right now. This is where it seems to come to an end. So honestly, I'm expecting to see and anticipating some sort of big move to happen right now in regards to where we could be seeing the rest of this market head to. It's interesting because the MACD on the 4-hour looks, you know, undervalued, and it looks like we could be breaking bullish. But when you look at us above the high-low MMA, it gives us reason to believe a correction could be potentially happening. Same thing when you see Litecoin hitting its high-low MMA. The fact that it's retesting this level, the fact that it's nearing overbought, does give us signals to believe that we could be seeing retracement and corrections lower. And that pretty much goes into the remainder of the market. You can see on the daily price for for Bitcoin, we're merely just intertwined within the high-low MMA, and this is honestly a very interesting thing to consider. Usually when we're intertwined within the high-low MMA, we tend to be breaking bearish, we tend to see corrections lower, but honestly, I do believe in the short term we will be seeing some sort of potential rally to the upside. Merely we're going to see what could be a small correction to retest this bottom uptrend, as you can see, is being withheld from the market. And then we could immediately see a correction back up here. This ultimately will set a couple of things in motion. Not only will we be setting new lowers, new higher lows, which is awesome. This will be the third higher low than the past. We'll also break this pattern right here, and with this resistance heading lower, we'll break the previous high, which is right here. You can see we've been setting these lower highs for the longest time, and if we see the slightest correction above 8,300, we'll ultimately be setting a new bull market cycle, and I'm very anticipating and excited for that movement. Obviously, the second I see any confirmation of movement right now, I'm going to be investing it on Bitcoin, on DueDEX. I know I haven't made a trade on DueDEX in a couple of days now, and that's only because this market is a waiting game right now. The fact that we're intertwined here does show reference of a small correction and a small dip lower. You can see the last time we did that, we fell just to our uptrend, so there's a very high chance we could, if we break bearish, fall below here and retest this uptrend and then start to trend upwards. Now, when you look at XRP and you look at a couple others, a lot of people were like, oh, yesterday we broke out the second I put the video out. It's only about 1%, I mean 1 cent. So I don't really consider this to be much of a breakout. I don't know who's making money off of a 4% gain that's that small and that quick. I mean, obviously, if you guys are making money off of that, like, kudos to you. That's great. But honestly, it's a very small correction. The way we're bouncing off of this support, it looks great. And honestly, we may, from this point on, shoot up to about maybe 8% at max, retesting the resistance as well as the high-low MMA. But otherwise, there's a small uptrend as well forming on the daily. This is something we may need to pay attention to as well. But ultimately, I do think it's going to shoot us right back up to resistance at 22 cents. And then I do think we're going to kind of break down like we've done in the past here. That's ultimately what I'm expecting to happen once again. And then immediately hitting that 16-cent barrier. Now, consider a couple of things. Ethereum broke out of what appears to be our descending fractal, hitting resistance at the high-low MMA and kind of correcting lower. Ethereum is kind of doing the same thing. It didn't hit its high-low MMA yet, but it's still within its bearish fractal, and you can see it's coming very, very, very close to hitting and retesting that high-low MMA, but it's hitting resistance here first. So notice how this was a support here, then a resistance, and then once again, even more resistance, and it's currently looking to be fighting this, and we could expect to see that dump. Obviously, if there's any slight confirmation of a break above this white band, this white resistance, I will be buying into the market because I anticipate the rally will continue higher. But with the way these charts are looking, it ultimately looks like we will be breaking bearish. And if we once again see any sort of confirmation below the white trend here, which is merely just probably us breaking through the 137 barrier, I'll be buying in to short the coin as we fall down to maybe 123. I'll set a stop loss at 123 in hopes that we fall to about $100 to $102. But otherwise, I do think we're at a very interesting sticking point. There's not really any confirmation like we've seen here, which would ultimately tell us to buy in, or over here when we hit resistance at the bottom, or sorry, when we hit support at the bottom, we knew to buy in to the correction to the upside. Same thing here. We hit the bottom support. We knew to buy in as we corrected upwards. Same thing here, although this is a very small and slight uptrend to higher levels, starting off at like 65 and then slowly starting to move up higher. It's the fact that we're intertwined here nearing overbought gives me a reason to believe we could be doubting here. And once again, just a quick recap, there's a chance we could retest here. This is where I'm anticipating a fall to, and ultimately expecting to see movements like this. If we bottom out here at support, what we're ultimately doing is setting a new previous high. So you can see these lows right here. This is a new higher low than the previous one, and then the same thing could happen here. This is ultimately confirming that we're in a new bull cycle and we're going to start to head up, and it confirms this uptrend to be a very strong support. And then ultimately, if we can break above our previous low, or a previous higher low, we'll ultimately, or lower high, I apologize, then we're ultimately showing that we're due for a correction to the upside. So if we can close the candle above previous resistance at 8100, we're ultimately headed back to the upside. So it's a very, very, very short movement right now. It's a waiting game, and honestly, in the next day or two, we're ultimately going to find out which direction to invest in. Otherwise, in regards to that article that I totally forgot to mention, basically they confirmed what it is that I referenced in the fact that Bitcoin is starting this resistance right here, this symmetrical triangle. It's stuck within this pattern, and there's a possible breakout downward. That's what I'm referencing, that this could be breaking to the downside, and that's what you guys have to consider. So anticipate some sort of movement like that. And then it goes into discussing Ethereum, withheld by, once again, should expect a downwards movement to 140. And then with XRP, also anticipating to see the coin is not showing any signals of further growth. Once again, same thing. The index is going down, another confirmed of bearish pressure. So everything seems to be bearish, and that is honestly what I'm anticipating to happen within the market. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.